Today we're going to be shading the practice that we have already drawn out. So this is my completed example, and so in this video you'll be seeing how I got to this point. All right. So one thing I want you to notice is that a lot of times it's best to start with any background things and work your way forward so that you know that those forward items pop out enough against them. So I start with your ground, just kind of basic shading, pretty simple stuff. I want you to also notice the different values. So making sure you're using the full value scale. Super darks and super lights, and then you're using the different shades in between. If you're doing this properly, everything should pop out, all right, without using any lines. Now, obviously I have lines here because it's a skinny object. Like this has framing, all right? But between this building to this building, I shouldn't be able to see an outline because I have a light value next to a medium value, which then that automatically makes it pop out. Same thing with dark next to light, that's really gonna make it pop out as well. So if you're using your values properly, it should pop out without any lines. Making sure that you're kind of doing a gradual buildup. So you'll see that a lot of times I'll go in one direction and then I'll go in the other direction, and that kind of helps build up those layers, but it also prevents it from looking scribbly. So I always recommend try and go in one direction and then the other for just about everything. Sometimes your really light values, it's not necessary, but if you can really tell the direction of a line, then you want to make sure you're going in the opposite direction. So you'll kind of see how I do that. For shading any shadows, so like I have a sun here, right? Nice. So I made shadows off of these buildings and these bushes. So instead of creating shadows, and you'll see me do this in the video, but instead of like doing everything to the focal point, like we did when we were drawing, you're going, and it kind of works out pretty well. But I'm going to go according to my sun. So I'm going to see where my sun is. Now the building can't create a shadow out here because it's not, that's not next to the building, right? This is where the building touches the ground. So I go according to that edge. Okay, so I got sun to the corner of the building, and I shade this direction, just very lightly building up those layers. I like going this way. I think it kind of creates a nice look, and sometimes I'll go this way a little bit, but then that way you can see it's only where that building is. Same thing with the bushes. So like this one, the bush to the sun, it's going this way, which is different from that focal point. So go according to where that sun is at, but same thing, I'm just going side to side, okay? And I just kind of keep going through with each bush. Now I also with that shading too, so the bush is round, so I'm going to make sure that that shading is rounded as well. So it should create a generally the same shape as the actual object that you're creating a shadow for. So mountains don't have to have a shadow just because they're such a large object and they're as close as they are to the sun. If you want to, you can, but not necessary. That might look a little funny, but that's about it. Making sure that you're using different values to make sure everything pops out. You should have the entire value scale, so darks, mediums, and super lights, and just keep practicing. Good luck.